We got a 35% bump in our conversion rate. So this page was already converting pretty well. Now it's converting even better. And it was just simply kind of going through the copy that we already had and really just making it great for the words that customers were already using. So I'll just show you some of the changes that we've made between the old site and the new site. Okay. Collecting too many of these carrying trays. At least they're recyclable. We try to save them or reuse them, and then I never have them when I get a new thing of coffee. Most people watching this channel have seen the playlist I've made of all the jobs to be done interviews. If you haven't, I'd probably start there. But a lot of people have been kind of following along as, you know, we've been studying how people use high-rise, our best customers, how they talk about high-rise, what they use it for. And we did that because, you know, when we took over high-rise in 2014, we didn't have a really great grasp of, you know, who the core customer was. Was it, you know, the people, was the core customer someone who looked like the people who had made high-rise to begin with, or has completely changed? So we did these jobs, we've done interviews, and the feedback was awesome. We got a ton of new insight into how people talk about the product, what they use it for. But now we have to kind of go through and bring that to our marketing approach. And high-rise, the marketing site's gonna get a huge redesign in the very near future, but immediately I wanted to take some steps to change some things to see what would happen. So in the old site, you know, just we got a logo, a sign-in box, kind of a main headline, a sub-headline, and then it just goes through with some features and more copy. So right above the fold, some of the big changes I made, you know, originally we said, simple CRM for small business that helps you stay organized. People call us the simple CRM, the straightforward CRM, we're streamlined. So instead of using a lot of words to describe that we're a simple CRM, I just went with simple CRM. Better for SEO, and I think it gets the point across in a lot fewer words, which is very, you know, close to like what people appreciate us for. We used to say your address book doesn't do enough, other CRM software tries to do too much. Change that to track leads, manage follow-ups, zero learning curve. So the two killer features people kept talking to us about were high-rise is used for tracking leads and managing follow-ups. Before, we were very wishy-washy, talking about contacts mostly, and when talking about follow-ups, usually talk about tasks. So contacts and tasks, which were the domain language kind of in our app, but clearly that's not what most people really talk about high-rise as. We're leads, not contacts. We're follow-ups or reminders, not tasks. That subheadline is just the two killer features and really the killer benefit, which is zero learning curve. You're not gonna have to train anyone, you're not gonna have to train yourself, you're just gonna have like instant setup experience. Before we were talking about everything in your high-res account is safe, secure, and password protected. I instead use that space to say, no manual required, we have one, you won't need it. This is more the language and benefit people are after. That was kind of a clever way, and it was a waste to just kind of talk about security when people really want to know that they don't have to learn much to get started. On the old site, these are kind of in a random order, and they're pretty generic, and they talk about contacts and tasks. So we rearrange them in terms of importance that we hear from our customers. Track your follow-ups and set reminders. This used to be down in the middle, and it was all about tracking your tasks. And it says, you know, keep track of important tasks. Instead, the languages keep track of important follow-ups. Not just kind of a word replace, but we did kind of go in here and clean up the copy to be a little bit more concise, a little bit more consistent, even in verb tense. But a lot of like replacing tasks with follow-ups. We had share everything with your team. That's not how our customers talk. They talk about sharing leads. And so we changed that to share leads with your team, share leads in a spreadsheet, not contacts. We talk about managing communication. A lot of our customers talk about a system of communication. So we changed that to manage a system of communication. I kept the Swiss Army knife. I think the Swiss Army knife kind of conveys simple. It's a simple tool, even though it does a bunch of things, which I feel like is what high-rise is good at, doing a bunch but still remaining simple. So we kept it. We did call it the tools you need all in one place. Change that to the tools you need all in one simple place. There's a subhead there that's about high-rise, the just right, more thoughtful way to keep track of the people, conversations, and tasks that are lifelines to your business. Again, people, tasks, that's not how our customers talk. So now it's Highrise the no busy work system to track leads, manage follow-ups, and grow your business. Very similar things I did here throughout all of this text. There's a few more testimonials at the bottom that we didn't have before, and we changed the main kind of call out at the end about Highrise makes using your CRM software simple. Import your contacts from any email system and get started today. Not bad. Could have maybe left it just changing contacts, but we did change it to CRM systems are cumbersome and take too much time. We designed ours so you'd be a master within minutes. Those are the big changes so far. The stuff I'd like to kind of see coming soon are, a huge redesign. I already think this site, this homepage just says a lot. You know, people talk about us being simple, but now we're using a lot of words to describe that. That doesn't seem like it conveys quick. So I'd like to kind of go the Google route or draft, the writing software I made. It was inspired by Google, just be kind of like a very short, you know, very clear, not a lot of words, start to the experience of draft. And if you're sold on it already, you can get started. If you're not, you can kind of click through and read some more. I'd like to kind of do the same thing here, keep this really short. And if you want more, you can kind of click through and see some other pages. This quote from Tim Ferriss is great to have a social proof, but he doesn't talk about simple. He doesn't talk about this thing being fast, so it's probably not serving us the best. These icons are pretty generic. I don't know if they convey simple and quick. You could argue the Swiss Army knife also doesn't do that either. It may communicate, we do a lot in a little package, which that's not exactly what our customers are going for. The quote here from Washington Post, Highrise does nearly everything a personal secretary might do except go out for coffee and pick up a dry cleaning. I like it because it's from a major newspaper, but it's not on message at all. It's like one of the furthest things from the message that's on this page. These tweets aren't on message at all. I think Andrew here says simple contact management, but I think he's the only one. They talk about contacts, not leads. We could get a bunch of better testimonials from customers here. That's an effort, you know, we're gonna do. So that's it. There's a lot more stuff coming, but we got a 35% bump, so I'm thrilled. And this mostly was pretty easy, just taking language from these interviews and refreshing our copy to reflect those things versus the words we chose to use when we originally made this page. Stay tuned, there's gonna be a lot more tests coming up, and I hope that gave you some ideas of what we've been changing and what's been working, and I hope that gives you some ideas.
Sometimes you're such a jerk.
I'm really a jerk. I can't stand mouth noises or any form of like, it's weird. Any kind of eating, I don't know. Even if it's like normal, swallowing, swallowing is the worst. Hiccups are the worst. Like, don't get hiccups around me. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I could really use some help spreading this channel. If you dig it, please hit that thumbs up. Spread the channel or a video on Twitter or Facebook. And if you're new here, just please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I upload a new video every single day talking about this stuff, business and marketing and product design and just getting through life with a family and a toddler. And I will see you again tomorrow, everybody. Bye.